Hi everyone. Today, Anna and I will be talking about NAND mirroring attacks. Before we start, we're going to go over some motivation behind these attacks. So, following the San Bernardino shootings in 2015, the FBI discovered that the perpetrators used an iPhone 5C and mandated that Apple unlock the phones for the FBI. However, under Apple's policies, they refused to unlock the phones since they didn't want to undermine the security of their own devices. As a result, the FBI had a need to forcefully break into the iPhone. The problem was, iPhones only allow a certain number of passcode attempts before erasing data on the phone, so therefore brute forcing as many passcode attempts as you can will take away all the data that's needed. So as a result, the FBI had a need to eliminate the limit on passcode attempts. Before we go deeper into the actual exploit, let's talk a little bit more about some background knowledge.
NAND is non-volatile memory, which means that the data persists without any power. It does sequential reads, and it can store a high density of data, making it a popular choice for flash memory. It can also be programmed and erased electrically. But one disadvantage to using NAND flash memory is that it has a limited number of rewrites. So after about tens of thousands of rewrites, the chip would be worn out. So now we'll talk about the exploit and the process. So the passcode can be brute forced by replacing the NAND chip with a clone every time it's erased. When the NAND is replaced, the phone allows another cycle of passcode attempts. This process of incorrect attempts, restoring, and replacing the NAND chip gives the attacker an unlimited number of passcode attempts, allowing them to brute force the passcode. The attacker would choose to erase the chip after every 6 incorrect passcode attempts. The phone starts introducing a delay after 5 unsuccessful attempts, and after 5 attempts, a 5-second delay is introduced. After 6 incorrect attempts, there's a 1-minute delay. So erasing the chip after every 6 attempts would reduce the amount of time it would take overall to brute force the passcode. And using this method, a 4-digit passcode would take about 20 hours to brute force, and a 6-digit passcode would take about 3 months. The first step is to disassemble the phone. The main board is first extracted, and the shields are desoldered with a hot air gun and removed to expose the NAND chip and the system on chip. The system on chip has the device's unique UID key, and this is used in conjunction with the user's passcode to calculate the actual passcode needed to get into the phone. And the phone can't be accessed without its matching system on chip. The high temperature epoxy compound that's around the NAND package is then heated, and this allows the NAND to be removed using a thin knife. The next step is to wire the NAND memory. The NAND is wired up to the phone via a connector to test the phone's functionality. An oscilloscope is used to detect distorted communication signals, which need to be fixed to make the phone work correctly. The third step is to eavesdrop on the NAND communication. A logic analyzer and oscilloscope is used to analyze and record the protocols and commands for the NAND communication. The fourth step is to implement the mirroring. So the commands for reading, writing, and erasing the flash memory are implemented by a separate setup controlled by a PC. The original NAND chip's data is copied to a different NAND chip, and this is the backup chip. So once the original NAND chip has been erased from too many passcode attempts, the backup chip is used to restore the data. But the backup NAND chip can't be wired up to the phone and used because it's only a data copy of the chip and not a clone. And because it's not a clone, the mapping of its memory wouldn't match the original and the phone wouldn't turn on. The original NAND chip can be cloned an unlimited number of times, and these clones work successfully in the phone. So using clones ensures that the original NAND chip won't reach its rewrite limitation. You don't know how many rewrites it already has on it before the exploit. And a 6-digit passcode would take about 160,000 rewrites, which would wear out the flash memory on its own. And cloning also reduces the amount of time it takes for each cycle because the clones can be created ahead of time and restored in parallel.
All right, and now we'll talk a little bit more about defenses. So the first one's obvious, improved authentication. Currently, NAND mirroring attacks are only possible due to the small number of possible permutations of 4 to 6 digit numerical passcodes. And even with these low digit passcodes, it can still take 2 days to 2 months, respectively, in order to actually crack a passcode. And without automation of NAND mirroring attacks, longer alphanumeric passcodes can take way longer to crack due to the high number of possibilities. And additionally, biometric security software can also help prevent these attacks due to the fact that these protocols are not able to be brute forced. And these include fingerprints, facial recognition, as well as voice recognition. Now, obviously, it's impossible to require users to authenticate with a certain method. So, some people have been exploring other methods of security. This one is known as limited use security architecture. So, this basically uses a probabilistic model used to model time to failure for different devices that serve different purposes and functions. It then uses these times to set a system level usage threshold in order to prevent brute force attempts while also still allowing legitimate sign-in attempts over longer periods of time. And this basically leverages wear out, which already exists in all hardware. It's basically the concept that after accessing a certain block of memory over and over again over long periods of time, eventually it'll stop working and it'll lose the data in that memory block. So before we explain how this works against NAND mirroring attacks, I'll first talk a little bit more about how data is stored. So as we mentioned before, usage passcode works in conjunction with the device's unique UID, which is hard-coded into the system on chip. So even though we're removing the NAND chip, we still have some control over the system on chip. So theoretically, this system level usage threshold can be applied to the system on chip to prevent too many access attempts to that key. So even though the NAND chip is being replaced, the system on chip stays the same. So next we'll discuss some of the future work that can still be done, which mainly is focused on automating the attack. As we said before, the attack can take some time due to the fact that it's done mostly manually. So some ways we can help automate it are to use an external USB controller to emulate functions that are more physical in nature. So for example, this include entering the passcode or rebooting the iPhone so that the NAND chip can be removed safely. Additionally, creating a proper clone of the NAND memory chip and or emulating the original NAND memory storage by using an FPGA can not only help preserve the state of the original NAND memory chips for when you actually guess the password correctly, it could also prevent damage and wear to the original NAND memory addresses. And next we'll be talking about other hardware-related attacks. The first one is known as a local heating attack. Previous research has shown that by heating up memory cells inside a memory array, one can actually alter the contents of the memory itself. So the paper proposed that lasers can be used against flash memory as well as electrically erasable and programmable read-only memories in order to alter the contents. And these attacks can actually be used to retrieve keys inside the devices by brute forcing all possible combinations. And however, with high enough heat, permanent memory damage can occur, which can result in a permanent fault injection. So that is one thing to be careful about when trying to perform these attacks. And in order to help defend against these attacks, one possible mechanism is to create a threshold for temperature so that whenever that temperature is exceeded, some sort of protection can be granted. Additionally, there's also a backdoor in Actel Microsemi Pro ASIC 3 chips, which is especially scary due to the fact that these chips are used in military-grade FPGA chips, which are used in missiles or other important devices. And this backdoor is actually discovered among the Joint Test Action Group, or JTAG, which is basically used to test the functionalities of the device after it's already been made. So this allows attackers to extract the AES key, which allows attackers to authenticate itself as a legitimate user and read bitstream from the device. And here's a list of references that we use. Here you can see we have the video for desoldering as well as the NAND mirroring demo. Any questions?